if you like a flower, don't pick it. Just enjoy it as it is. Maybe you let it brush your cheek a little bit when you walk by, but you don't pick the flower, because if you pick the flower, it becomes something totally different altogether. Aha, you're mine. No. That's something different than love. That is possessiveness. And so if you like a flower, enjoy it as it is. And appreciate its fragility. It's kind of blurry in here. Put my glasses back on. Anyway, yes, if you pick a flower, and which, don't get me wrong, I have on very many occasions purchased cut flowers in a flower arrangement to give to a woman. And I have done so in the past. I will do so again in the future, most likely. But that's only so they don't go to waste. It wasn't me who cut the flowers. And so unless you're a person who sells flower arrangements, I'm not trying to hate on anybody's hustle. I'm just saying that, you know what nobody ever does? You never hear somebody say, "Oh, did you hear about the flower?" Everybody says, "What flower?" And you say, "The one in the garden. The one that was, I watched it for 4 or 5 days. I saw it as soon as it opened. It grew and it grew and it grew, and eventually it died and it fell right off the plant." Everybody will look at you and tell you that you are crazy for mourning that flower. Did you know that? They will. And that's because they don't realize they're that too. And so if you like a flower, enjoy it for as long as it lasts. And there's new flowers all the time. This is a difficult thing to remember when you live in a climate which is not like this one. It never really gets below about 65 degrees here. Hotter than hell in the daytime, though. You have to pick your battles. But I see flowers every single day. And call me a pansy or whatever you want to call me, but I'm a guy that can appreciate a nice flower. I mean, it took a lot of work for that little flower to do that. Whatever it did. And nobody ever criticizes one. Nobody ever says, you know what, that flower just, that fold just doesn't look right. I mean, people have their preference, just like they have preference over blue or red or green or whatever other kinds of preferences that human beings can have. You never hear two gardeners arguing about which flower is the best. I mean, they all put on a spectacular show. Check it out. For those of you who experience winter, I'm really sorry about that. God, isn't springtime the most beautiful time of the year? And the warm finally comes. I hated that. Dear God, I hated that. One of the most baffling things to my little American brain about living here in Costa Rica is that addresses simply do not exist. They don't have them. And you'll think I'm crazy until you come here and you see that everything is simply ever so many meters away. You go to this city or this suburb and you go this way, 500 meters, 50 metros, y en la esquina, allá tal vez 20 metros, izquierda, derecha. We don't know where we are. Nobody has any idea. It's marvelous. The houses are not numbered. You know, in the United States, I'm John Smith. I live at such and such an address. I work at this place, which has this address. No. And you know what else you don't see? You don't see mailmen. Ever. You don't see people delivering things to houses at all. Unless, of course, you bought something at the store and then needed to transport it, then you can call a guy who will move your new refrigerator into your house or whatever, which I'm very thankful to have. Thank you very much. No, you just don't see it. The newspaper is not a thing. I mean, everything's digital now. So, I mean, it's been done away with, just like the milkman. I found that just spectacular. I was here for a while and I was like, where's the post office? And they have them, don't get me wrong, but there aren't constantly people bringing junk mail to your house and creating a bunch of trash. I don't think people around here would look very kindly upon that. But yeah, my little American brain is just... I don't think I've seen a single mailbox the entire time I've been here. Mail? What the hell do I need a mailbox or a mail slot for? Come see me when I'm open, or come find me when I'm out and about or something. But please, dear God, don't leave a bunch of trash at my house. I mean, that's how people would probably look at that. But when you're here, it all makes perfect sense. Don't need mailmen. Everybody has cell phones. Just like we don't need addresses. Oh yeah, that's so-and-so's cousin. He lives right over there. I can show you whereabouts it is on a map. And then once you get there, you're on your own. Figure it out. We aren't pinned down in that way. I think it's beautiful. I think it's just excellent. And you return whatever the invitation message, whatever comes your way, whenever you want. Although I will say that, do you guys remember 3G? Costa Rica remembers. We have that quite a bit here, and very many areas with absolutely no cell service at all. Best you can get is 4G LTE. Scout's honor. Never seen 5G in this country. Nobody needs internet that fast. I've seen what it's done to my home country. I think it would be a damn abomination here. Just kidding. Although it is frustrating trying to upload a YouTube video. I'm telling you, it takes me sometimes an hour or 2 hours to upload a video. I'm a compulsive cell phone addict just like everybody else, and it's pure torture having to just leave my phone alone and find something productive to do. It's terrible. Right, let me tell y'all something. This is a power plate. This will get you all the way through the day if you eat this in the morning. This is rice, beans. There is a little bit of queso fresco, which I have put into the air fryer, and it's awesome. Same thing with this. This is something called salchichon. I don't know what's in it. I don't ask. Same way I don't ask what's in any other type of sausage, but it gives you everything you need to get through the day. carry you all the way to dinner, easy. One of the very many things that I learned during my time as a farmer is that when it comes to bullshit, it's just bullshit. There it is. You don't have to step in it. You don't have to walk by it. In fact, you can turn the other way and you can walk somewhere else and leave that bullshit where it is. I never owned any cattle, but there was a pasture behind the house. Just as an aside, and I want to paint this in a very positive light, I am not trash talking or anything like that. I actually think it's a wonderful thing, but punctuality, not as much emphasis is placed on punctuality in this culture. Now, if you are a heart surgeon and somebody is going to die if you don't show up in the operating room, I wouldn't expect him to be late. If you are an attorney and you need to show up at 8:30 to represent somebody, I would not expect him to be late. But if you're a guy who does what he does and lives his life for the most part, if I tell you I'm going to be there at 4 o'clock, it'll be about 4:15. More likely it could be 4:20, maybe 4:30, maybe 5. And that is the difference between hora, which is now, and ahorita, which is right this moment. En este momento. I think it's excellent. Nobody's in a rush. Nobody's scrambling around, losing their minds, pushing people out of the way. Get the hell out of my way, I've got things to do. Nobody has that energy here. I've never seen it. It's infectious. Makes you slow down some. Makes you realize that just kind of like the base operating system of your culture isn't the only one. And it might be perfectly correct for very many people. It might not be the correct one for everybody.